guys, we are very happy to take part in the English speaking contest. Let's introduce about ourselves. I'm Thảo and my friend is Dung. We are from class 9A1 of Nguyễn Khiêm Secondary School. As you all know, today I am going to talk to you about learning pressure.
Since 2000, people have been trying to learn faster than their competitors, and while it seemed like an impossible goal, we finally managed to crack the code with our advanced education system and remarkable access to knowledge.
However, with every great achievement comes a trade-off. In this case, a tremendous cost to our bodies and minds. As it turns out, the more time we spend in school or in front of a screen, the worse off we are physically and mentally.
Researchers have found that a majority of students are suffering from symptoms of exhaustion, stress, and anxiety, as well as a significant increase in body mass index. The good news is that we can resolve the damage caused by excessive schoolwork and computer use. In this article, we explore the causes and effects of academic pressure so that we can take action to help students thrive in an overburdened educational system.
What is academic pressure? Academic pressure is any variable that influences our ability to learn effectively. It could be the amount of time we spend studying, our levels of motivation and confidence, or even how much sleep we're getting. All of this play a role in how well we perform in school. Academic pressure isn't necessarily a bad thing. In fact, it's widely accepted that students need to feel some pressure in order to perform at their best. It's only when this pressure becomes excessive that our academic performance suffers.
In particular, when we have an exam coming up on material that we're still learning or reviewing, we may experience a feeling of stress and anxiety. This is normal and healthy. However, if these feelings are even partially responsible for a decrease in our understanding of the concept test on exam, then we cross the line into academic pressure territory.
For example, if we're preparing for a test on material that we're still learning, then we may be tempted to pull all-nighters or otherwise sacrifice our sleep. While this might give us an edge in the short term, it can have devastating effects on our long-term mental and physical health. But what if the exam is simply too difficult? Does that mean we should lower our expectations to a point where the pressure off? That wouldn't be fair for those who are capable of more.
So, what a student should do? Fortunately, there are several ways you can reduce academic pressure so that we can stay focused and succeed on our pace, no matter how high the goals. How to reduce academic pressure? The more obvious way to reduce academic pressure is to lower the stakes. In other words, take pressure off of students by giving them a choice in what they study and when they learn it. This seems counterintuitive in that we are encouraging students to reduce their workload, but there's an important distinction here. We're not removing their motivation or confidence, just the stress and anxiety that come along with it.
For instance, if a student is studying for a history exam, then he may be tempted to bury himself in material over the course of a few days prior to the test. Even so, if he could instead choose to spread that workout over the entire semester, then he could accomplish this with significantly less stress.
Another way to reduce pressure is to acknowledge that not everyone learns the same way. For example, a student might learn effectively from listening to an audio lecture, but struggle when reading from the textbook. In this case, you may need to adjust your learning style if you want to succeed. Otherwise, you may end up feeling frustrated and overwhelmed due to your inability to keep up with the classwork.
Lastly, it's important for educators as well as parents to remember that our students can only get better at what they practice. If a student isn't motivated, then he won't be able to get better at a particular subject matter. Whereas, if he is happy with his work and enjoy learning, then he will be more likely to stick with it in the long term.
If you're under pressure to study academic pressures, take action today. It's never too late to start reducing the stress that comes from excessive schoolwork and computer use.